next decade or next couple of decades actually will derive a different sort of workforce within the country. Today's blunt line between being an employee and an employer will slowly reduce, will actually slowly fade away, and it will be more of inclusive growth for everybody in the organization. Organizations today, if you talk about the consulting firms, I've been a consultant, I will talk a bit more about that. Consulting firms operate on a format called partner. People come on board, they become partners, they become a stakeholder in the organization, they become a shareholder in the profit. So when you talk about being an employee, being an employer, I think a different set of skill sets, as Anita was saying, is required for people to acquire. And I think in the previous discussion, when Mr. Bhatnagar was saying empathy, put yourself into the other shoes, I think you guys will have to start behaving in that particular fashion. Reason is, you need to think in a very holistic manner, because I think till date, we used to have very lesser options as a career. We used to talk about kids, like there's a kid in the family, the parents, the elders decide he'll become an engineer, he'll become a doctor. We have people say, you talk about 5 days a week or 6 days a week, 2 days for one company, say in Bombay, 2 days in Calcutta and 2 days in Chennai. I think there are people who are currently working in this particular pattern. So they are not accountable to one, rather accountable to three. But when you talk about the delivery, you talk about the dynamics of the industry, actually it has already started changing. Question is that, can we keep pace with that? Can this particular audience keep pace with that or not?
That's exactly the intent.
Just to build on what he said, I am one of those guys who works 3 days in Bombay to 2 days in Pune, and occasional trip to Delhi. That is one aspect. And secondly, work from home. 12% of my total workforce work from home.
To Shoppers Stop as a marketing head, and from there I took a shift of industry. I got into the financial services industry. I was picked up by Shikha Sharma, who currently happens to be the MD of Axis Bank. I was the first priority manager in the country for ICICI way back in 2004. Then on, I kept on moving into the financial industry. I think I was getting to hear a lot of questions in the morning session. People used to talk about, if I have this particular, why do I need to be in HR? Trust me, I think Sanjeev, what was his name? Naresh, I'm so sorry. Naresh was sharing that it's not necessary that you belong to a particular domain. Till the time you have required, kind of skill sets. I moved into financial industry, started with insurance, got into equity, got into commodities, then got into treasury, got into high-end financial products possible. I don't have a background in finance. To be very, very, very honest, I teach finance in many colleges. I don't have a background. Yeah. I was the head of wealth for Reliance Industries, for Reliance Retail, about 5 years back, for southern and western part of the country. That's when I took a call that no, I think I need to take my dream forward and create jobs now. In the sense, I wanted some like-minded people. To talk about hiring people, I think I had a team of about 1,000 people which I had created myself, for which I might have taken some 6,000, 10,000 interviews. But when you talk about like-minded people, this is what today employers look at. This is what people, even the way we make our friends. Do we make all and sundry who all are around us our friends? Do we? Do we make our friends? How do you define that? Correct. So then it was a call for me to take that I wanted some like-minded people around. So then thought of creating this particular organization and try to be the Indian management consultant. Probably you talk about a holistic management consultant today in the country who belongs to India, who originates from India. There is hardly any. So we talk about all this big five and all. So that is where our dream came in, and then I thought of getting into this. Then got a lot of like-minded people to come along with us. See the challenges. As you were asking, what are the challenges? What do we face? See, when you think about the organization as your own, a lot of times I see people leaving their systems on in the office back. would you do that if it were your home? Would you do it? If it was your home, would you leave a scrap paper on your table, on your bed? Why do you leave that on the table? I think this is the kind of thought process which comes into mind. You know, when you talk about entrepreneurship, as she said, you know, you need to be your own peon, you need to be your own, manager, you need to be your, own all that. I think the initial first year was very difficult for me. When I was working, I had a plus office for myself. I used to have security guard opening in the door of my.
You're saying absolutely right that it's an entry pass. The certification in degree is entry pass. But I tell you,
Out of that, and I started looking for space myself. I started driving my own car and kept on requesting security guards, we let my car be parked here. I think it was a drastic shift. First of all, an entrepreneur needs to adjust himself into this particular environment. Second thing, the people he or she needs to take along, or why would I hire? See, what I tell my people when I take somebody from the campus, or I have somebody as young as you, I expect them, my typical statement what I give. If you want to create a muffin, are you capable of creating a muffin? Maybe you are. You would have a small muffin for yourself. You will put in all your work and create a small muffin. I said rather not do that. You get about 30 people who are like-minded and create a huge cake. So the pie what you get, probably this big, would be some 4 muffins. Yeah. So this is the kind of thought process. This is the kind of attitude what people look at. As Mr. Bhatnagar was saying, when they go to the campus, they look at various skill sets in people. I think this is essentially what organizations do look at. Are you your own boss? Do you know how to take responsibility? Do you accept accountability, or you don't? I think today when you talk about taking advantage of the demographic dividend, it is very much necessary because the kind of skill set which will be required. See, it will not be only in terms of acquiring a particular technical skill, rather a lot of attitudinal skills what you need to acquire. See, the way I was talking to Pura, they develop games, right? When you talk about creating games, are you really excited about it? If you're not, you will not be able to. So when he will look at somebody to hire, he will look at these are the basic traits. I think these traits are extremely critical. I as an entrepreneur, I believe in all these qualities. And just to answer his question, that probably taking things from him, that the consultants, what do you need to do, analytical skill and all of that. I don't believe in that, to be very, very honest. I give consulting to Government of India and many private organizations. You want to be a good consultant, you need to have passion for reading. You need to have passion for learning. Because as consultants, in other words, in very simplistic terms, you are an advisor to somebody. When you are an advisor, you are expected to know more than them. Do you really know? If you do not know, you will be able to sell your concept to them for once, get one check, after that you would perish. If you know more, actually, then you would sustain. It is exactly like keeping a job, as you were saying, Anita. It's easier to get a job, but very difficult to sustain it or be in it. It goes exactly the similar way with the entrepreneurship also. And we tell you, for a number's sake, 95% of the organizations which start in a particular year, within 11 months they close down. People who cross that barrier, they sustain after that.
I think it's the ability really to spot opportunities, which is getting hold, understanding that yes, this is a potential customer, right? Whether it's for the entrepreneurship in you because you started a company or you join another organization, you need to always be aware of whether or not there's an opportunity. Can I encash it?
One thing I would like to add on, the entrepreneur versus employer, employee kind of scenario is, if at all you ever want to become a business head, be it an HR, marketing, sales, whoever, okay, you will need to know business.
Yeah.
If you don't know business, if you are not an entrepreneur, in yourself, you cannot become a good business head of whatever firm you are. Okay, so today, for example, in my field, I'm an HR guy. Okay, if I don't understand what the business wants, how will I recruit that kind of thing? If I don't understand what the business wants, how will I train my resources for the particular thing? Okay, And if I don't know that my business is going down, okay, how will I keep my cost under control? Yeah. So if I don't understand business, I'll fail as a person in whatever field I am. Okay, the same would apply to marketing, sales, anyone and everyone. Okay, so I don't think we have a choice whether we can be an entrepreneur or not. Yeah, in that
Totally,
particular field.
yes, totally. That's exactly my question. When he said everybody that he recruits, he looks for a certain entrepreneurial element in that individual.
Just go ahead. See, then there again, there is a difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman. The employee, we can look for a sort of entrepreneur to have this skills, but just keep it away from the, the businessman sort of, the
Motive is different.
Yes, those are different. And what I really want to add here is that now we are, if we try to align our discussion in the line of the topic, which is making more relevant for you people, is that if you clearly analyze, what data is rightly captured, and I think that's what when we were going through the information to net, so we were also coming across, and that's why I say probably this is my second the presentation which I am using, and thanks to Vidya again. So what if you see, you people are analysts, and if somebody does not have analyzing skills and all, probably they will not succeed that much, and that is why I want to make a point here is that just try to see that by 2022 by 2040, the other parts of the world are not having enough force, and we are here having the dividend of the demography. So that is what, if we do not have, or if we do not prepare for it, then it is not a dividend, rather it is a discount probably.
Yeah.
Absolutely, very true.
So what
Rather an asset will turn into a liability.
So you people will have to really prepare yourself, is that keeping yourself on the total happenings in the technology and the current of your companies. That is, you cannot really discount, or you really can ignore it, because that is still 8 years away, but your life is starting immediately next after 6 months. So what I suggest here is you have to really have short-term goals and the long-term goals. The short-term goals may be immediately that okay, if I cannot sustain more, so I have to really go for further study, the job, or maybe otherwise I will go for further study, or whatever it is. It varies case to case. But unless you have a dream, which one has to really have, because unless you have dream, then obviously then you can go anywhere, because anything can come and anything can attract you. But I suggest that you have some aspirational goal.
He's actually leading me to the questions where I wanted to go to. So I was just going to ask you people, do you know where you want to be by the time the dividend is ready for you?
Yeah. But that is still KTV if you talk about. But I suggest that you have short-term goals absolutely clear in your mind, and it's not that easy. I tell you. I think you people have more avenues now. In our time, it was not that so simple. It was like do the graduation and then you are like in the lakhs of people, those who are looking for jobs now. So the competition is yes tough now. It was even tougher there, but the avenues were not there. So what you have to really be focused, because the time in the competition that does not give you more chances. So please be clear and have, that's what I was just saying, in your life, in your personal life, have mentors in your life. Somebody who can guide you, otherwise maybe you are losing precious time. And that's where I talk to my son, my people, and I see you all are basically that way. So have your goals, short-term goals and the longer-term goals defined, and prepare for it. It's again, like in the morning what we're talking about, the information and knowledge. The information is available there. The knowledge is there, like unless you apply to it. Like it's the same thing as if somebody cannot read or somebody does not read, what's the difference between them? Is nothing. But the difference is that someone who does not read, he has skill, but he does not apply to it. So similarly, you have the certification is going to be ready. So what you have to have it, apply in the right direction. And how you can apply, work in that direction, is that you move in that direction, and that's where probably Ranjan, Nita and all we are saying is that please don't limit yourself that okay, I have done a specialization in HR, so I will be looking only for HR. it's again like, you know, you talk to people like, or take anybody's cases, Dhirubhai, Thomas Edison, it doesn't limit you. It only says is that okay, can I map my core skills to what I want to really do.
I'll give you some numbers. 2022, you know what will be the global requirement of the global shortage of manpower in various countries or in various places. US, any guesses? 17 million jobs. Europe, 10 million jobs. Japan, 10 more million. Just imagine what you are actually gunning for. The way he said, if you start building your career, if you start planning it right from today and actually start looking at that, you would have a huge window of opportunity actually before you.
I had the opportunity to meet Mr. Goldsmith. He's the guy who's written Mojo, which is the book. He's one of the top 7 speakers in the world in the HR forums and all that. I'm very privileged of this. Okay? He told me 2 things. One was, what are you studying? Yeah? And he said, what is the job that you are doing? Yeah? So I gave him a few answers, all of that. You know what was the final conclusion? Okay, there is statistics data, which is done by Harvard, Stanford and the likes. Yeah, which says, every 7 years, okay, the job that you are doing completely changes. Yeah? So, what you are studying now, okay, 7 years down the line, it would probably be done. If you have not upped your skill at that point in time, okay, then you are dead. So, example for that is, everybody was doing paperwork. Everybody said, finance kar lo, munshi ji ban jaoge, kabhi job nahi jayegi. Comes the internet and boom, those guys are gone if somebody else is on top of it. Yeah? Facebook started 5 years back. Before that, who would have thought an SMM was a job, which is social media marketing was a job? It wasn't a job. Next, people are saying it's pharmacy. Yeah, B.Tech and biotechnology is the next upcoming thing. Yeah, today if they put me in a biotechnology firm and say you go and hire some biotech guys, okay, I really don't know what to hire. Okay, it's the same thing which happening with gaming. Yeah, just to give you an example, okay, so very senior people in my organization come, Purav, we need a guy who can do this. Okay, how is he gonna do it? Okay, the heads themselves don't know. Okay, so we don't know what we are even wanting to hire. Okay, or Facebook was a creation. Okay, I'm in the field of innovation. Okay, I don't know what's gonna create next. Okay, if you're gonna go ask me to go and find a scientist, how am I gonna figure out? Yeah, if you have always remember, if there is a gap in the industry, if there is gap anywhere, and if you can plug that gap, yeah, then you will always be in demand, be it an entrepreneur or be it in a job guy. Okay, Facebook plugged the gap. Yeah, Facebook plugged the gap amongst the people. It is making money today. Okay, how successful it's gonna be, it's a different question, but that's one. LinkedIn plugged in a gap. Yeah, that's why it is successful. Okay, Nano as a car plugged in a gap. Yeah, it was car for the people who are having 3 or 4 people who are and only at 70 to 80,000 and cannot afford cars. It plugged in a gap. Yeah, as long as you are doing something and you are innovating and you are going into places, okay, where you can plug gaps for businesses. Yeah, you will always be successful, you will always be in demand. Okay, and please know that once you have plugged one particular gap, okay, that gap, so the people have passed across, you again have to go ahead and look for the other gap to be plugged. Because if you get stuck here, which is what Facebook at one point did, Zynga, which is a gaming company, did, everybody thought gaming is always gonna be all about online gaming. Online gaming died. Those who didn't plug the gap today are going down the doors. Okay, now you have to move to mobile. Mobile, after that it's gonna be mobility. After mobility, it's smart TV gaming. You don't know what's coming next. If you are not at the end, if you're not the front runner, okay, there are no monies for the second place. So my answer to that is, your degree is only your entry pass. Yeah, that too only for your first job. If you have got a job, let's say in Wipro or Infy or wherever, I'm sure you would have been aware, you can get into Wipro. Okay, every 3 months there is a performance cycle that is getting done. Yeah, if you are not on top of that, okay, so like they say, your MBA is not the end of it; it's just the start of it. Yeah, so you will have to be on the top of the game. Everybody, if you are paying somebody, okay, so, let's take a very not a very good example, but there would be house help at your home, right? Yeah. You don't pay them every month on month, okay, just because in the first month they have done a good job. Yeah, You pay them because they have to keep doing the same job, good job, every repeated time. They have to meet your expectations. Okay, the moment they don't meet expectations or the moment they start taking breaks, okay, even a house help, okay, you are up and out to fire them. Yeah. How much more are you gonna get paid according compared to them? Why should it be different for any of us? So if you're not ready to up your game, then somewhere down the line you will lose it out on that.
Your take, sir?
Yeah, I think I'll probably.
No, because it could differ from industry to industry.
Yes.
That's the reason why I
That's
have
it,
this
yes.
question from
It
person
has
to
a,
person.
Now I ask this way, that, let's say my son, they're asking me, okay, I want to become this, I want to become this, and also what I tell them. I tell them to do some professional qualification at least. That's
You need him a mic? I guess.
Are you?
Yes, there is.
Maybe you can use a mic. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice it myself. That works. Either.
Is it fine? Can you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, what he is saying absolutely right, that it's an entry pass. The certification and degree is entry pass. But I tell you, there are certain more entry pass within, after the first.
It's like the
entry
green channel or the red channel,
pass.
right?
So it's like I give you few examples. This in is it I'm going to almost 7 or 8 different institutes and the HR companies where they invite me for all this, and they ask me to give all the sessions, and I go, and sometimes I spend a day because it's my passion. At times they one of the HR company, when I move out, so they give me a packet in 10,000 rupees of this. I think, wow, this is great. The other company is like, when I move out, they say, sincere thanks to you, I enjoy that as well. But if I really want to take that as a profession, to go into, the let's say the lecture and all, I need certain degree. So there are certain type of profession which you cannot, qualify even to even think of that without this degree I will be able to do it. And that's why I suggested at least try to obtain some professional degree of your choice, at least, because let's say again coming back to what Pooja was saying, is that in certain companies, especially in ITES company, today it is possible that they take graduates, or they take the MBAs, and then irrespective of their specialization, they offer the opportunity. When I was working with American Express, I was till that time I was in HR and all, and then suddenly I thought, there is an age comes in everybody, and they try to change. So that sort of whatever you say, it also came to me, and I said, okay, I'll go to operations, and I succeeded. Rather, that was the most successful part of my career. But the company provided that opportunity, but it is not that all companies provide that. So there is no point in limiting only because of that. Okay, well, the certification or the degrees don't matter. They matter. And let's assume a scenario where all are good, very good. The communication people, all are having all those skills which probably you would like to have. Then what is that which makes a difference? It's the degree. So degree makes a difference. However, it does not limit you. I mean, if you do not have that, don't feel some sort of that I'm not having that, so I cannot do it. Something like that. It does not limit you. Again, I'm just coming back to it. Is the skill set. I give you a very small story in this. Is that there was a woodcutter who was hired by a person who was having sort of forest law. So he was paying him certain amount. That okay, you cut the wood, and then he was cutting the tree, and at the end of the day, he was taking it. There was another guy who he hired, and after a year, he said, the money which you are paying to me and the money which you are paying to him is lesser than what you are paying to him, though he's a new guy. So he said, yeah, he's cutting more trees. So that's the reason. So he said,
In this question, and this whatever he's citing actually answers. You people all go, the question in the morning, you people all go for the same jobs along with graduates. What is the
Correct, yeah.
differentiating factor?
Exactly. So let me complete it because
Yeah.
the moral.
Yes, you know that.
So then at the end, he says, okay, why you are paying me less, although the guy is new. So he said he's cutting more trees than you. Then he said, try to find out. Then he said, okay, I'll go. And he then, he goes and he works hard.
Like,
He works hard, but at the end of the day, he finds that the number of trees what he was cutting is still the same. So he's working hard. And he couldn't able to visualize what exactly is the problem. He went to the guy again, the owner, and he said, I don't know. Better you go to the other guy, whatever the name of that guy. And he went to that guy and he said, please tell me what is the secret. I am doing this for years. You are new and you are cutting more trees than me. He said, I don't do anything. I am doing the same thing. But what happens is that at the end of each day, I sharpen my tools, my eggs. And he said, that I am not doing. I am doing it when I feel. And when he feels, probably it is too late. But he is doing it daily. It's just the frequency is changed, but that is what you have to really keep current. So what is happening, you have to keep sharpening your skills. Your skills are your tools. So your abilities and skills, your competencies, you have to keep sharpening them. How you will sharpen them? Only once you identify them. When in the morning you are talking about what are the skill sets. First you have to identify what skills you require to do a certain type of thing. And that is what the skill mapping, the type of job. When he was saying, Naresh, when Naresh was saying that for HR doing things you don't require the specific, I differ here is that, there are many people those who fall and then they learn. There are many people then they study and then learn.
So sometimes you can see by others
Yes.
falling.
It cannot happen that okay, I'll learn by doing mistakes. I'll become doctor by doing 10 failures in the operation. So that's the word is not going to come with you. So that's what the time is that you have to really be prepared for it. And the cutting edge, I tell you, it's like that he was saying that we are doing 5 years back. It's not going to remain same. You will really going to be made redundant if you don't upgrade yourself. That's a fact.
So IT, you can see, that it's a growth market. It has always been growing for India, especially India has done really well in IT. IT and ITS. So, but the degree, unfortunately, fortunately, okay, that you hold of an MBA has a huge expectation that the industry will have of you. Okay? Because that industry, the mainstay of the industry is pretty much engineering, right? So I faced it myself. Luckily or unluckily, or not an MBA. Okay? So the expectation that the organization had of me was, okay, she's an engineer, she can program, she can do things. I went into business development and marketing and all these kind of roles just because there was an opportunity in the company and I just picked that up. There were not other MBAs around, so therefore I got those jobs and I kept doing it. So good for me. But the market has changed, obviously, there are lots of, more people now available. So therefore, when an MBA gets into an IT company, okay, whether it's a Wipro, Infy, Arisent, etc., you are the expectation that the businesses have of you, even an HR team that will have of an MBA in HR. Or if you're in the product management, right? So we talked about in the morning is also moving from services to products also. So so when you make products from India and sell it globally, it has a different expectation too, right? The consumer experience has to be different. Everything about the product has to be different. You don't know who that end customer is, right? So you have to be able to conceptualize new things. Those kinds of things are expectations that people suddenly have of this MBA certified person who comes into the organization, because all the engineers then look up and say, oh yeah, somebody looks different than us, and therefore, and we all know MBAs get more, right, in terms of monies. So everybody is like waiting and watching on their seats, okay? All the engineers are waiting and watching to see, okay, this MBA is now coming in, we can see wonders happening now. So you have to match up to that standard of expectation which is suddenly shot up. Right? Not to put undue pressure on you, but just to say, look at it as an opportunity for you to perform, because engineers typically will be nerdy. Okay? They will be happy to do their own coding, blah blah blah, etc. There will be R&D guys. They are the guys who are going to make monies for the organization. But do they have the wherewithal to do everything? No. Right? And that's where the organization looks at you. So when you come in with a degree of this sort, the expectation would be that you apply frameworks, you apply the academic knowledge that you've had, which the industry does not know. Right? India is not known for applying all those frameworks, etc., because that's the forte of the big 5, big 6 consulting houses, along with Rantans, right? But how many people do they employ compared to the IT company, which employs more engineers? So when you have more management guys joining the IT companies, great job, great security, everything else, right? The environment around is perfect. You will enjoy an IT company. However, as we said, when you compete with the engineers who are on the ground for attention, you have to stand out. It's an opportunity. So when you look at jobs from Japan, etc., moving, what does that mean? Is that you need to be able to work with people who look different than you, right? They're not Indians. So you're going to look at providing them a product or a service. So when Sanjeev talked about reskilling and sharpening the tools, look at it as if you are better prepared to communicate not just with Indians, and I can see the room full of people who communicate really, really well here, right? So it's not adequate for you to just feel comfortable working with Indians, but you have to right now onwards start looking at, okay, so 10 years later if I have to work with Chinese, Japanese, blah, 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 you have to start looking at what are those cultures.
Yeah, in whatever field you are in, okay, you will always be behind.
Correct.
For example, we just acquired something in Korea and Japan. Okay? Will I hire a guy in HR who knows Korean and Japanese? Yeah, I will. Yeah, even if I don't have a position. Yeah, because communication is the biggest barrier. I think 80% of all losses in business happen because of communication losses. Yeah? So it's a gap. Again, if you fill the gap, yeah, there is a job.
And those opportunities are not like US, right? Because when you interact with Americans, English is normal, we understand English, their culture is pretty much similar in terms of, you can, when you talk to them, they're direct. But with Japanese, etc., you will be stonewalled, right? You keep talking to them, they'll keep nodding, right? No stereotyping, but that's how their culture is. They will not decide there, unlike Americans. Right? So therefore, you have to understand that culture very well and be prepared to work with them.
To each his own again. I mean, a guy sat in a dorm and created a Facebook, and there are corporates who have like R&D and research and technology teams who have not created a Facebook. So to each his own. You can work from wherever you want.
There are exceptions. You cannot say everyone will make exceptions.
Yeah, but if you are not even gunning for it, okay, then how do you want to see yourself as a successful person? I mean, at least try for it. वो ना आसमान पे देखो खजूर में तो अटक ही जाओ वो वाला है.
I think the key is really discipline. Like, how much of self-control do you have? If you know that you have to deliver something, come what may, wherever you are, right? You are at home, you are in the office, how does it matter?
That's what I was saying.
It's actually
Depends.
mindset and
Yeah.
new practices coming in. Who talked about mobile? Our lives were as valuable as it was. But now, can you see anybody without mobile even having a night walk?
Think about it.
They are having the walk morning walk.
Need.
Similarly,
I think
they will become
in
a
the initial talk itself, Purab actually had mentioned this. Being HR head, I'm actually quoting Purab now. And being HR head, I don't care whether you are at your home or you are at your office. Conditionally, my work gets done. I think that's the answer. You need to fend for yourself.
Very true, sir. I accept it, but everyone is not more comfortable with it because some people are ready to just like thinking that we are at office, we will give our focus, we are focused and we will give our best. But at home, we cannot.
They would not stay relevant
And
for long.
this is
This is a last discussion.
This is why all of us get salary. Because we find out those kind of things.
Yes.
क्या होगा अगर आपने said anyway reality in these things are becoming costlier. If the company says I don't want to have office, so what you will have? I mean, you want to work, so it's good that you will be employed, but you work from home. You will work. Now why people will go there? Will say, oh no, I have better vitamin I there in office.